Thank you very much. This is an update on Wits and what we've been up to and really how we're restarting the company and driving ahead with some really definable goals over the next 12 to 18 months. So traditionally we've had projects in South Africa and Indonesia and just recently we've acquired 2 projects in Australia. I don't know if you know, but there's been a gold rush in Australia and people have been very focused on the Pilbara. And what are they looking for? Effectively, they're looking for the Witwatersrand, the greatest goldfields in the world that are right here in Johannesburg. Luckily for us, we already have one of those, and that's certainly where we'll be concentrating the bulk of our efforts. And we're in production right now. We've recently commenced production, and as of December, we're cash flow positive. So really, what our focus is very much on profitable gold production, starting right now, free cash flow in the order of $250,000 to $300,000 a month, and that'll be rapidly escalating as we bring more opportunities online. Exploration success, and in our South African projects, that doesn't really reflect traditional exploration. We effectively data mine. The leases that we have at the western end of the Central Rand have already produced 40 million ounces of gold, and that's a remarkable number. One lease, 40 million ounces of gold, and we're going back to that old data and rehabilitating old resources and old mining opportunities. Now, that immediately makes people think that we're mining down to the centre of the earth, but that's not the case. We're looking exclusively in the top 400 metres above the water level, where there's been previous mining, and in virgin blocks, and I'll show you shortly, but there are quite a few. We're looking down to about 1,500 metres. So we're not looking to reinvent the wheel, we're cherry picking from a magnificent historical resource. Our goal is very clear, and that is to become a 100,000 ounce per annum producer. And then we'll supplement that with exploration in Australia, where the Witwatersrand equivalent conglomerate story continues to gain momentum. I don't want to say too much about this. You know, the markets have been pretty flat and we're really only just starting to get out and promote this company for the first time in a long time. And for the first time ever, we're actually making money. So the story starts now. So really 2 areas of focus, and today I'm really only going to focus in on the Witwatersrand. It's the world's greatest gold deposit. 40% of all the world's gold comes from right here and been mined for over 100 years now. We have one lease at the western end of the Central Rand. The Central Rand's about 50 or 60 kilometres long and produced just on its own over 240 million ounces at around 8 grams. And we have a great lease there, and we're looking to drive that opportunity. Of course, recently in Australia there's been a substantial gold rush in the Pilbara, and people are over there looking for exactly the Witwatersrand itself. We've got 2 early stage opportunities, one slightly more advanced in that it's a mining lease and there's been traditional historic mining there, and one which is quite a virgin piece of ground, but we know that there are conglomerates there, and we're pretty excited to get out there. So let's focus in on what we're doing on the western Central Rand. It was an area previously known as DRD, Durban Roodepoort Deep, and the Rand leases. We used to think over 30 million, but we've recently added to the historical production profile, and it's now, we believe, over 40 million ounces produced. And when it ceased in the year 2000, when Durban Roodepoort Deep ceased mining there were just under 13 million ounces in resource. And through rather than exploration, but through a data mining exercise, we've been going back through the old data, through the depletion plans, through the resources, there's block models, there's full-scale mining plans, and we've re-established 3.2 million ounces of that. Our goal is to take that above 5 million ounces in resource and over 1 million ounces in reserve, and we believe that that's very achievable and achievable in the near future. Already 75% of our total resources in measured and indicated, so this is a great opportunity for us. You can see there are 6 main reefs here, the main and the south reef, which are the basal reefs, then up into the Bird and the White Reef and the Kimberley Reef. The main and the south reefs are largely mined out, but one of the most interesting things is that the old school mining drove straight underground and they left very large crown pillars. So what that means for us is that rather than go underground, we'll be mining for several years from the surface. Our current mining operations are open pit. and our next foreseeable 2 mining operations will also be open pit. Of the 5 million that we hope to define, we anticipate that around 400,000 to 500,000 will be open pittable. 400,000 to 500,000 ounces will be open pittable. So they're not firm figures yet. We're continuing to develop the resource, but as I say, it's a data mining rather than a true exploration experience. And we simply take the old JORC 99 resource value and we bring it up to scale in JORC 2012. So it's a pretty simple process really, and we're not looking to reinvent the wheel. So we're in production right now. We call it Witwatersrand 1, but really it's the Kimberley Reef, the youngest of all the great reefs on the Wits. We're producing about 12,000 to 15,000 tonnes a month. It's toll treated. Because when we talk about the Kimberley Reef, there are actually multiple horizons within the Kimberley Reef, and we're focused on one called the K9A, but to get to the K9A we actually mine through several other mineralised reefs. On their own they wouldn't be economic, but because we're going for the K9A we have to go through them anyway, so we stockpile those and we treat those at low grade. Or we have no production facilities on site. Everything that we do is toll treated off site by Sibanya, which is where our high grade ore goes to Ezawini, and our lower grade ore, the stuff that we have to mine through, goes to Mintails, that Mahali plant. So that's a simple toll treatment arrangement in both cases. And our stripping ratios are quite good. These are low profile, small pits. We don't do any drill and blast, so we can mine very close to existing infrastructure. We've developed some new technology which is cutting edge, and I don't have time to talk to you about it. And we're making a lot of money. You know, we've just started, but we're already $300,000 a month in cash flow positive. We've defined another 6 immediately available open pit targets. And it's our goal to bring these into production over the next several months and over the next 2 years. At the moment, we don't actually have a mining licence, and we're mining through what's called a government directive. And if you want to understand that, you'll have to come and see me because I simply don't have time to explain it. But we feel there's other opportunities to do that. We're applying for the mining licence at the moment. I'll show you the timeline. But these are the open pit opportunities. And the open pit opportunities will provide us with the cash flow to drive us back underground, which is where obviously the main production from the Wits has come over the years. Our next target, Witwatersrand 2, will be amazingly on the main and the south reef, the highest grade parts of the whole system, and the original discoveries, where the original discoveries were made. And to be honest, as an Australian, where we love open pit mining, it's quite shocking to me that there's any ore left here that's open pittable, but there is, and we certainly plan to exploit that. Really on the main and south reef, which have been 100% mined out, they're crown pillars, so it's only small mines and very shallow, but extremely profitable because the grades are so high. So what are we doing? Well, we're mining now at what we call Wits 1. We started preparation to convert from the prospecting right to the mining right. We started that in December. We're just about to apply for a further mining permit. That's a small-scale mining permit, only 5 hectares, but it's big enough because these operations are so narrow, we can actually fit a reasonable strike length into them. So we'll call that Wits 2, and that's on the main and south reef. In April, we expect to submit the full-scale mining right application over the whole thing. As you can appreciate, that contains a lot of EIA, feasibility studies, etc. We anticipate that will take around a year to be granted. And then by June, we anticipate that we will have achieved our mining permit application for Wits 2, so we'll have 2 open pits running concurrently, and maybe even 3. In fact, this is already out of date, this slide. We're a bit more aggressive than that. And by this time next year, we'd expect to have full mining rights. And that means 6 to 7 open pits running concurrently on site and starting to access the underground opportunities again. We're focused on large blocks that are close to surface and really doable. I mean, we're not looking at going down 3,000 metres. We think this is a real great opportunity. And our goal is to be a 100,000 ounce per annum producer. The Pilbara's early stage exploration, but we certainly plan to use our conglomerate gold-hosted expertise to do what everyone else in Australia is doing, is looking for Witwatersrand equivalents. But we feel we have a superb advantage there because we're actually working on the Wits already. So we'll be progressing those over the year. So look, we're an old company that's been around for a while, but we've started again. We're in production. our production profile will rapidly increase, and we think we're a great bet, and we'd love to see you on the register. Please come and talk to us at the booth. Thank you.